Someone did ask if we were swingers.
Oh, yeah. Are we swingers? They even put the pineapple on there. Urban Shakespeare 1. Are you guys swingers? Moving to the Dominican Republic. It looks amazing, right? Beaches, sunshine, paradise. Well, there's a lot we wish we'd known before we took the plunge and made the move. This video will share the best schools, how the heck you hire a great housekeeper, what it really costs to live here, the coolest activities, and some favorite spots that we have outside of Punta Cana. But today's video is special. My wife Silvia is jumping in to share all of her knowledge. She was born and raised here until she was 12, moved to the US, and now she's back, bringing a totally different perspective than mine, coming home versus moving somewhere completely new. So if you're thinking about making the move down here to DR, trust me, you're going to want to watch this one. It's a special Ask Me Anything episode with my beautiful wife Silvia, starting now. Melina.Lant asks, what made you guys move to DR? How did you make that decision?
The beach made us move to the DR and the weather. We came here in 2021, December of 2021, and I spent 4 weeks here at that time, and Jamie spent 3. And it just felt like home, like grounding. It was nice to be close to our family. It was great to see my kids interact with cousins and family members here. And I kind of wanted to get back to the Dominican to feel a part of its culture. I've become very much of an American, right? I thought I was very Dominican when I lived in the States, but coming to the Dominican Republic, I realized that, I've lost a lot of my Dominican culture. And I kind of wanted to understand that and learn that all over again as an adult and as a mom. I was really nervous. We just said it just felt like home here. We were having that conversation, and then all of a sudden, like, our brain kind of clicked, like, this would be great to do. It was sort of that,
Same
right? Like,
too.
it would be great to do this. And then all of a sudden we're like, wait, we can do this.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just a matter of getting over that fear of moving abroad with a whole family, which for us, I think we were pretty aligned on moving.
It was, we had like the same, it wasn't like one of us convinced the other. It was like the same moment, like, are you thinking what I'm thinking?
Yeah,
right?
And we just said, yeah, we're gonna make it happen. And then when we got back to the States, we started the plan to make it happen.
Exactly. So that's what we did.
And we started planning everything like in May to come here in August.
We moved to August 2022.
That's when I started prepping the house, to rent it out and all that stuff before we could move down here.
All right, the next question is actually a bunch of them. Christ.B, how did you guys meet? The legendary Rishi, I thought it was Rizzle. How did you all meet? Muso Fari, how did you guys meet? And then Cherokee Sperea, I guess.
Cherokee Sperea.
Okay. Where did you meet? And there might be even a few more in there, but we got a lot of where did you meet, how did you meet? So do you want to share where and how we met?
After graduating college, I came down to the Dominican Republic for 1 year, and I loved it. I lived in La Romana as a 20-something-year-old, and no commitments, no responsibilities whatsoever. It was a blast. I came almost like a college student on spring break, except that my spring break was a whole year. So it's a lot of fun. I have a mother who wanted her daughter to get back to the United States to make real money. And so I have some minor college debts that I needed to pay, and I went back to the States and I needed a real job. So I kept looking for different jobs. A friend of mine was working for Progressive Insurance at the time, and I said, why not? It has nothing to do with what I want to do in the future, but for now, it will do. So I applied for the job, got the job, and that's how I met Jamie. So Jamie was opening an office for Progressive Insurance in Dedham, Massachusetts. And I had applied for that job, got the job, and we were working in the same office.
Yeah, be clear, I didn't hire her. He
did not hire me. I did not meet him. Right. Everyone was hired
before I got there.
Before he got there by other people. So I was part of his team. We were all really young, so we would go out to dinner after work.
Like 20 people.
Happy hour, like 20 people, everybody.
Yeah.
And then, I don't know, this weird guy kept asking if I wanted to be walked to the parking lot. And I kept saying.
She kept asking. It was like, with her eyes.
And I kept saying
with her
no.
eyes.
I kept saying no. I kept saying no. I'm like,
Please,
what
sir.
is his, because I would always stay a little late at the office doing some extra work. And I don't know why he would stay late, because this guy does not like staying late at the office. So
Now you know why.
Now I know why. So he would ask me if I wanted to be walked down to my car, and I would say, no, no, thank you. No, thank you. But we got to know each other during those outings. We got to know each other really well. And I don't know. I liked you as a really good friend. I thought you were cool. I thought you were nice and sweet.
And good looking.
And good looking.
And sexy.
And yeah, sure. All of that.
This was 08, 09. This was 2008, 2009 for context. Yeah. So we met each other in late 08. Started dating.
Working relationship.
Early 09.
Yeah.
So between like late 08 and early, so it was like November 08, I moved to Boston. That's when I met you. April-ish of 09, I think we started dating. So pretty quick. And I was her boss. Hey, making moves.
No.
Go ahead, you correct the record.
He tried to have a relationship, and I was not interested. Here's why. He was my supervisor's boss, and
2 levels.
I did not want to be looked at as a sanky-punky as well.
That must be a Dominican term.
I did not want to date him.
And I was like, come here, Sanky Panky. Whatever the hell that means. What is that? What's a Sanky Panky?
A Sanky Panky is a Dominican that goes looking for tourists to marry to get a visa.
I was a tourist. I guess I was kind of, I just moved there.
But no. Like, let's say no, you're an idiot. So if we marry, right? If we get married and then we go places, people would think that I was a Sanky Panky. So that was the reason why part of me was like, no, 1, I don't want to date my boss. And 2, I do not ever want to be seen as a sanky punky.
Good thing is you didn't date your boss. You dated your boss's boss. Baller. She gave in.
Yeah.
I mean, look at this.
Sure.
What woman wouldn't? The best part is because she's so much better looking than I am, that there's only 2 assumptions people make about me. Either I'm loaded or I'm loaded. It's a great thing for me. That's the assumptions that are made. So, hey, maybe both are true, maybe neither are true. Who knows?
I'm not going to confirm or deny.
So that is how we met. So my version, very quickly, is I saw her. She was beautiful. There was just like a connection. We had a human connection. Yeah. Just like, wow, very easy to talk to. We got along. And as we would go out, I'd go out with friends, like other leaders. She would go out with other adjusters, and we'd see each other, or the whole team would go out or whatever. We just found our way to each other and have a conversation. It was just a connection. Like, the job didn't have anything to do with it. When we started dating, she had applied and gotten a job in another department, or like right in that time frame.
Before we started dating.
Right. Yeah, like right in that. But it was a perfect time
for the record.
Yeah. She had applied in another department. She was a very good
I was good
adjuster.
at my job.
Right. She was very good at adjuster. So she was easily going to get the job. It was all the talk. And I was kind of like, I hope she gets it. And when she did, it made it much, much easier, obviously, because she was in a new department, different boss, different structure, the whole 9. Yeah. And we were completely separate at that point. But yeah, I just say that I saw her, I claimed her, and that's why we're here today together, making videos, living in the Dominican Republic. Huh, babe? Confirm?
Good job, baby. Confirm.
See, I claimed her. Got her. See,
no,
got
not the claiming part.
All right. How about this one? If we could do it all again, move here. What would we have done differently? This is easy fix. Well, there's no easy fix for this question. I don't know. But what would you do differently if we could do it all over again, make the move down here?
What would I do differently? Number 1, we would purchase a car instead of renting one. And we would purchase a new vehicle, not a used one.
You know, it's funny because real quick, financing rates on cars here are not bad. You can get like a 4-year loan, 48 months.
The price of the car is bad.
For like 6-7%, 7-8%. 8%, let's say. That's not terrible. That's not terrible. So it's not bad to finance. Prices can be high, but there's some, like Kias aren't too bad. Those Shangans, the Chinese vehicle, which I know you don't want to get, but they're not too bad. There's a few models that aren't too bad, but some of them, yeah, she's right. They're really expensive. But okay, purchase a car instead of leasing one, which is what we did for the first year.
Yeah. And then I don't think I would do anything else differently. I mean, I
have one thing, but yeah.
Go ahead.
No, I would have. So we said 1 year.
Yeah.
And I think we should have said 1 year to us.
Yeah.
I think if I go back, I would say, don't tell the kids 1 year.
Yeah.
Don't give them that time.
Just say that we're going to start.
We're just gonna go. We're gonna go to Dominican Republic for a while.
For me, I don't like.
I feel like our oldest latched onto that 1 year and delayed his Spanish progression as a result.
I agree with that, but I think that was part of his journey. He was meant to go through that. I don't think it's our job to protect our kids from everything.
It's true.
And it's also a good thing for a kid to know that plans change, right?
Yeah.
You don't have to, just because you said you would, you don't have to stick to one way of living. I don't know. I think it's good. It's developing grit.
Yeah, no. 100%.
Teaching them a different thing. So I wouldn't change that. We moved to, I love that we moved to Cana with an Airbnb. We made a decision to explore the area before we committed to a long-term apartment. I think that was brilliant on our part.
2 months in Cap Cana.
We did 2 months in Cap Cana. We experienced Fiona in Cap Cana as well, which was very scary. And we just ended up deciding that we wanted to be here in the village. We also decided to book, one thing too, we booked our school when we were in the States. I don't know if I would do that again. I think seeing the schools here, once you're here, I did it from the United States.
I know we looked at it, but we decided on that
I looked at all of it, and then we decided on, no, I guess we didn't
we decided when we got here. We went and toured different schools.
Yeah, we did start the process with one school, and then we did a tour of different schools. But there was one of them that we ended up loving that we didn't actually see anywhere on the internet. We discovered it after being here for a year, and it had been the best decision for our kids.
There's a lot here. We're going to get into schools in a second, housekeepers, and summer camp, because I think there's something there. The only other thing I would say...
I think we did those things right.
I do too.
The one thing I would change is, honestly, the car. The car thing.
And I wouldn't change this, but like something that could have been is like, rather than moving in August right before school, do you move in like June, July and put them in summer camp to get them integrated?
Yeah, that would be helpful. I think that would have been a good idea too.
So on that point,
so if you have to do it, if you guys are planning on doing it, that would be a great thing to do. To come earlier, to come in June, right after school, right? Ends July, August, and spend those months here. Because some schools here start in August.
Yeah, 100%. So this question, Dave I. Boy, is any summer camp recommendations for kids 10 to 12 going down for the summer?
Oh my God, there are a lot of really cool camps here. So if your kid wants to learn tennis, there's a tennis camp here in the resort, the Punta Cana Resort, Oscar de la Renta Clubhouse.
Center or whatever. Right?
So you can do that. If you want more of something that has a little bit of everything, tennis, swimming, playtime, exploring, you could do Carita Feliz, which is in the village as well. You can do skate park, has an amazing program. It is a little bit more costly, and I would love to do it for Sebastian this summer. Just 1 week.
How much is it? What do you remember how much it was? Ballpark?
I think it's about $400 for a week per kid.
Pricey for like 1 week.
So
I
it's
think
a little bit pricey, but we'll probably do it just for 1 week, just because I don't
skate
know.
Park's amazing.
I value money.
Yeah, and skate, but it's still that's a lot of freaking money. And skate park's awesome.
Is amazing. Yeah. So I highly recommend that one.
I think
they teach survival. Training. They do survival training. They do all that stuff. Another cool camp that I've seen is the Bauer Adventure Park.
I was gonna say, they do have one, right?
They have one too, and I've heard great things about it. I haven't done it yet, and it's more of an adventure. They have all sorts of things there.
Kind of like skate park, less expensive.
Yes, it's a little bit like skate park, less expensive. I don't remember the cost, but it is much more affordable.
It's much more affordable.
It's sort of like $200 a week, or maybe.
Yeah,
I don't know, so don't quote me.
It might be a step down in like level of like, I don't know, like skate park's very modern, Bauer Adventure Park's a little more dated, right? But they're both great.
They're both great.
We enjoyed both of them.
Yeah, they're both great. And I don't know, I think the kids will enjoy both.
And then is this good advice on this? I tell people a lot on this, like call the schools, call PCIS.
Yeah. Call the schools, because they also offer camps. I know Ikigai has a great camp.
Yep.
I think it's amazing for younger kids. So ages...
Up under 8, let's say.
Under 8,
under 9 or 8, yeah.
Under 8, under 7, I think, right? Like up to 7, Julian's age. I think it's great. Although our oldest loves it.
Yeah, and he's 9 now.
And he's 9.
So that's what I mean, like 8, 9 and down, that's fine.
Yeah.
But then like I think Heritage...
A lot of outdoor.
I think Heritage has a camp.
I don't know about Heritage.
If you call schools, they either have a camp or access. Like PCIS, if you called them, I think they send you to Carita Feliz, right?
I don't know.
I thought that's what they did.
I don't know. They might. So contact the schools, because I know Villa Montessori, the school, they have a summer camp as well, because our kids did part of that the first year that we moved here, because we weren't aware of all the other camps. So that's an option too.
All right, next question on this, in this vein, because this is really good, is from, there's a few of them, but I'm going to take Natalia Cambero. How do you hire a nanny housekeeper in Punta Cana agency? So what do you think? I have thoughts on this.
There are agencies.
Yeah.
There are agencies, so you're welcome to use them. Actually, our neighbor across the street has used an agency, and she's had mixed reviews, right? She's been able to hire really good people, but she's looking for someone who can sleep over and on weekends. So she's had about 3 different people come and go. They have been great, but they can't sustain that schedule. So if she had a better schedule for them, I'm sure she would be able to she would have kept the first one because they've been great people. For us, we ended up
Wait, before you go there, do you know how much an agency charges?
I don't know how much the agency charges.
And do you know the name of that agency, right?
I have the information for the agency, yeah.
I can drop it down below, so we can throw that in there. So
when we hired someone, we actually talked to our Airbnb host, and we asked them if they had anyone that they would recommend to work with us, housekeeping. I didn't need a nanny because I like raising my kids. I like being present. However, we did need someone that could be part-time and help us out when we go on date nights or when we go on trips and things like that. So we used that person for the Airbnb manager to refer us to someone. She got us a very good person. That relationship is still ongoing.
Well, this is,
it was only for 1 year.
Yeah.
I hired her for that 1 year because we were only supposed to be here for 1 year. But then she got too comfortable. She would sit for hours on her phone and not do the things that I had asked her to do. So you do have to manage your person, the person that you're working with. So that's an expectation that you have to have. Like, they won't know what to do ahead of time. But thankfully, she had introduced us to someone else who was amazing, who does things without me telling her what to do.
Well, she was a weekend person.
She was also our weekend person. She would work with us on the weekends, and she would help us during the weekdays with our kids. Yeah. She was our nanny. And then when I let go of that first lady, I hired her full time, and that has been the weekend lady. I hired full time, and she's been amazing. So what I'm saying is there are amazing people, but I know a lot of friends who have struggled to find good help.
Yes.
But you have to try. You have to try it. You just have to hire someone for a week, see how good they are, and then if they're not good, move on, hire someone else until you find the one, because you will find the person that you will stick with. But you have to pay well. You have to treat the person well, and you have to give them feedback. No one knows what you like unless you tell them. Same with your husband. They don't know what you like unless you tell them.
So then why don't you tell me?
I always tell you, you just don't hear it.
You can't tell me telepathically.
No, I tell you
just because you tell it in your brain doesn't mean it came out of your mouth.
Just because you didn't hear it doesn't mean I didn't say it.
All right, so listen, there's a few things to tease out here. She's wrong. One is the Airbnb that we did the first 2 months. People get nuts with that. I get some people oh my God, it's a lot of money. It's it's an investment in the move. We paid $5,000 each month for those first 2 months. It was a lot.
No, it wasn't $5,000.
For the Airbnb?
Oh, well, never mind.
You don't know.
I don't know.
It was Airbnb. It was $5,000 each month. Everything. I mean, it's including everything. That's your electric bill. It's everything,
yeah, and
right?
electricity here is super expensive.
We'll get to that. But $5,000 a month we paid, and people feel like it's a lot. That's fine. But we got to decide and know, oh crap, we don't want to live here. But we know exactly where we want to live full time. So we didn't want to live in Green Village in Cap Cana, so we moved to the village, Punta Cana village instead. Yeah. That's one. Two, that's the housekeeper hack. We were able to use, if the first person came and we were after a week, we don't like them. We just go to the Airbnb host and say, send another, send another. And then honestly,
if they're willing to help, because some Airbnb hosts might not be willing to give you their person.
You pay more though, because they take a cut. So you pay a lot more than you would if you're hiring them directly. But still, you get to filter through and find a person potentially. And then we just took her. We just stole her essentially.
No, we didn't. I told her I needed someone full time.
I know, but I'm she wasn't no longer referred by the Airbnb host because she was working for us. But the other thing is a lot of people, and tell me if I'm wrong on this, a lot of people that talk to people that are native here, that live here and have ladies, if you will, the advice they get is an only pay them this, only this, only
That's what
that.
we were getting, but
Correct.
but then like all the people that were telling us, pay them like 15,000 pesos,
It's
which felt very
predatory.
abusive and predatory to
right.
us. But I get it. If you're not able to afford to pay more, I get it, right? It's good to have that. However,
Have an expectation.
they have an expectation, right? You're not going to be their priority in that case.
So in her case, we know of people that like, I'm going to pay them.
So they would have turnarounds. Like
Yes.
they would lose the person would show up and do the bare minimum or not do their job at all, or they wouldn't show up, which has happened.
Yeah.
And I know this has happened to people that pay well as well.
Sure, but I think you're going to increase your chances if you find the right person.
Yes.
You set expectations, you pay them well, because then they're like, oh, wow, this is a good gig. I don't want to lose this. And then you understand their needs. Like ours sometimes has some needs with healthcare. They have some needs with transportation.
Yeah. And
we help.
And the person that we have kept for the past 2 years now, right? Almost 2 years, 2 additional years. She has a need. She needs to go back to Barahona, which is far from here, to see her kid. So every so often, I know she's going to take extra time to go and do that.
Yes.
And we accommodate for that because she is that amazing. So, and on the days that she's not here, the one thing that I ask her to do is to help me find a substitute for the days that she's not going to be here.
Yeah.
That used to be a person we used to have working on the weekends, which used to be her. But now we find other ways. The lady that worked for me for that 1 year, right? She wasn't good 24/7 with me.
This is key.
But she was good at cleaning. Like if she would come and go.
Tidy.
Yeah, exactly. Like she knows.
And she could cook.
And she can cook. Oh my gosh, she can cook. But I refer her to people that need someone for the day. I refer her to people that need someone to cook a nice meal for them for one day. But I would not refer her to work at a house full time because she gets too comfortable. She gets a little lazy. But she works well just every so often. She comes and does a great cleaning. She does great cooking if she comes here for 1 or 2 days.
But that's the treatment piece. She fired her. And you also fired the other what's her name? Maura. You also let go of her. Yeah. So there's two, like she was doing like a little weekend work.
I find what they're great at, right? So like
Maura comes over and irons.
Maura was not a great cleaning person. She was a weekend lady as well that we had. We have struggled to find someone for the weekends. Yeah. That's been our struggle, right? But that's not as necessary. So Maura has come and she wasn't good at cleaning. She would speed through everything and I refer her for ironing. She is great at ironing. She ironed my shirt the other day. So she came over. I said, hey, I no longer need you for the weekend. I would prefer that you just come every so often and you iron our clothes. We don't have that much clothes that needs ironing, but she comes once a month and irons whatever we need ironed. And she's great at that. And so when I refer her to friends and family and whoever, I refer her as a good ironing person, not a good cleaner.
Right.
Rosie is great at cooking. She's also really good at cleaning your house once in a while, right? So if you hire her for a day, she's great at cleaning your house for that day. She's great at cooking all the time. But if you hire her to be at your house long term, she's not going to be your person. We all have different gifts, right?
Yeah.
So it's kind of like valuing the person. Like, yeah, she's not great at this, but she's good at that. And then I can work with that with people.
Leonardo in Miami is asking, are there enough activities to keep you busy? Asking for a friend's wife. I don't know why he's asking for a friend's wife, but he's wondering if there's enough activities to keep us.
It's okay if it's you.
What do you think on this?
Just kidding.
I have my thoughts.
I'm just kidding.
No, let me share first, because you've been talking a lot.
Go for it.
It's my channel.
You always do your channel.
It's my turn. Yeah, but I'm feeling.
Okay, go for it.
Feeling
Go for
pushed
it.
out
Quick. I gotta go to the gym.
I know you do. We got like 30 minutes. You're fine. We're not gonna be on that
Hurry
long.
up.
So here's my thought on this. Like, I think you have to remove the mindset of the Dominican Republic of what you're used to and think about it more like exactly where you live. In other words, you live in Miami, right? I'm guessing, because he says Leonardo in Miami. So I'm gonna guess he lives in Miami, right? In Miami, you're not, I don't think, if you have kids, it's not like, okay, we're going to the zoo, we're going to the water park, we're going, like all the things you do when you come down here, all these activities that you do when you come down here is like, because you're in vacation mode. So the Dominican has this like vacation vibe to it. So are there enough things to do? Yes. But to be honest with you, the activities that keep us busy, are just like,
Everyday things.
yeah, like kids running across from other, like the kids coming in from the back, kids coming in from the front. Our kids, where are they? They're across the street. They're up at a friend's house. They took their bike wherever. Like, you know what I mean? It's just like anywhere you live. So if the question, and I'll let you weigh in on this, if the question is there like enough things to do to keep you busy, like as if you're on permanent vacation? Yeah, you have to repeat things. You know, like you can't just, it's not like one.
Yeah, you'd have to leave Punta Cana, right?
Sure, go to the city, go do this, that, and the other.
Yeah.
But I think what people underestimate, and I say this all the time, is like, yes, Punta Cana is tourism, and equally so, Punta Cana is family. There's a massive family environment here. Like we run into the same people all the time. We go to beaches that are mostly other people from our neighborhood, not tourists. There are tourists, but not like, it's not like going to Cortecito Beach or to Bávaro or whatever.
And remember, Punta Cana is not all of this. This used to all be called Bávaro to those of us who are from Higüey. It used to be all called Bávaro.
Meaning all of what we now call Punta Cana.
Punta Cana is now like Los Manantiales this way. So Ciudad La Palma, because apparently it's just one Palma. And then all of this, Punta Cana Resort, the village, Cap Cana, all of that is considered Punta Cana. So Bávaro, there are some great neighborhoods there now. You have Cocotal, which is great, not my favorite, but you have Cocotal, and then you have Vista Cana, which is an up and coming neighborhood, and that I really think it's going to be amazing.
I do too.
And a few others that we don't visit, but they're there.
Ciudad
and
del
then
Sol,
that are actually for people
Costa
that want
Cana,
to live here. There's Ciudad del Sol in Verón,
Costa Cana,
Bávaro, which is like Bávaro, Verón area, and
there's White Sands.
White Sands. That's Cortecito area, though.
That's true. That's
like Cortecito area.
Hard Rock
there
area.
Are places where mostly family, right? Los Corrales is a little bit more of a party area for tourists. I think that's the one that is considered more like a party area.
Or if you're like single or couple, no kids.
Just couple, no kids, it's a great place to live. Everything is within walking distance over there.
Yep.
So
activities to keep busy.
Activities to keep busy, there are a ton.
So for
us, during the day, the regular days, it's mostly our kids' activities, right? They have soccer, they have tennis, they have breakdancing classes, birthday parties. We go to a ton of birthday parties. Wednesday? This week we went to 2, Tuesday and Wednesday. And today is
Friday.
Thursday. Sorry, it was Wednesday and Thursday.
No, today's Friday.
Yeah. It was Wednesday and Thursday.
Yeah.
And we had 2 birthday parties, right? So if you're involved, get involved in the community, you will have a ton of things to do that are just regular stuff that you would do in the States or wherever you live.
Yeah.
So life becomes life. The first year we were much more of tourists because we were here for a year, so we wanted to get as much in as we possibly could. So we would explore different beaches, we would explore different parts of the country a little bit more often than we do now. There's a ton. We got a season pass for El Dorado Park, so whenever we're bored, we take our kid to an amazing water park. Fairly cheap if you add up the cost, right? Because it is expensive to go just for one time. There's tons to do. You just have to be open to meeting people and sign your kids up for activities. Sign yourself up for activities if you have no kids, right? Dancing lessons, tours, or retreats, all sorts of things that you can do to meet people and also to venture out.
Yamil BR is asking, do you feel like you are lacking anything in DR versus the US?
I must be honest, the first year, it did feel like we were lacking a lot of things.
Like what?
Amazon deliveries to your door.
I like that they don't.
For example, now I've learned to appreciate that.
I like that
right?
I have to go see people.
Yeah. But also, I'm not ordering as much as I did. Saving money, right? In some ways. Because I used to order
Amazon
everything.
habits die hard.
Yeah, they do die hard. But no, I used to use Amazon, especially during the pandemic, for toilet paper, paper towels. Like I would have all of that delivered on the subscribe and save, and I would save a ton of money doing that instead of going to the grocery store. Those things. And then the ease of finding the things that you're used to in the States, right? You're used to certain brands. You're used to certain ways of living. Right? Yeah. Culturally, the process of things, customer service, it's a rare thing to find here. And when we find it, God, do we hold on to it?
Go Hyatt Ziva.
Exactly. Go to Hyatt Ziva. Go Market, the restaurant in Blue Mall.
Castaways.
Go Starbucks here. Listen, I love Café Santo Domingo. It has far superior coffee. However, Every single time we go there.
Awful.
Their customer service is awful. Please train your people so that I can buy your coffee more often.
And it's not like privileged awful. Not like, snooty nose in the air like they should be doing. It's like they don't talk to you. They don't serve you. They make you wait 10, 15 minutes when nobody's there. Like, it's like, I gotta go awful, right? It's not it's not as American as it could be.
And it's not like there's a line. No. You're standing in front of the person. They don't acknowledge it. It's this one particular girl, but it's been most of them, honestly.
When you go to different ones.
Yeah. When you go to different ones. And it's the same thing here in Punta Cana anyways. There are only 2 that I've been to.
Same in a couple in Santo Domingo that I've been to. It's just, they
need to work on customer service or pay your people more so that they offer better customer service. Your coffee's great. I absolutely love it. I prefer it to Starbucks. However, I'd rather buy the coffee from Starbucks with good customer service than the one from Café Santo Domingo with bad customer service. It's what I prioritize. So I can go to Starbucks, get in and out. Hi, how's it going? Sorry, this is a rant on that. But that was the one thing that I missed the most was good customer service.
Yeah, I don't feel like anything else is lacking.
We were lacking like the kids.
That's not DR versus US. I mean? That's Punta Cana versus Santo Domingo.
I agree, right? But that's where we live, right?
True.
That's my reality.
Well, they're asking DR versus the US. Like, oh my God, we can't get that here. We need to go to the US for it. We don't have that. We can go to Santo Domingo. That's kind of a pain in the ass.
Yeah, you can go to Santo Domingo. I prefer to go to the US than to go to Santo Domingo sometimes.
Traffic there is
because of traffic. But, I would go to a place that doesn't have a ton of traffic, like Michigan, where we came from.
Yeah. But I don't feel like anything's lacking here versus there. I don't feel like anything's
lacking. The first year, it did feel that way.
Well, we're adjusting.
And you're adjusting, and you have to learn to find the things that you want, and the things that you need in a different form, in a different way, because you're in a different country, it's a different world. But now that we're used to it, that we've been here for almost 3 years, I don't feel like we're lacking anything. We finally figure out how to get Amazon packages here. Thank you, babe, me cargo.
Yeah, right. All right, we got 2 questions on this topic. Benny 5, I think we're gonna have a disagreement here. Benny 5, where else in DR would you live? And, hold on. Clarice.Luke asked, would you move to Santo Domingo and why or why not? So where else in DR would you live and would you move to Santo Domingo?
It all depends. If you have no children, I would say Santo Domingo might be a good place for you.
100%.
If you like partying, if you like good restaurants, if you like all that stuff, Santo Domingo would be a great place. For us, we moved from Boston to Michigan like 8 years ago, I think.
Yep.
And we lived in Michigan for 4 years before we moved here. We lived in a very nice, posh neighborhood in the suburbs of Michigan. And I got used to the quiet. I got used to not having to deal with traffic. I got used to walking out my front door and running over to a state parks, right?
Yep.
And going for a run. We got used to the quiet. So going to Santo Domingo for me, it would be very overwhelming, especially with kids. I like my kids to be outside. I like my kids to be able to run around. I like my kids to, my kids go barefoot. They run barefoot from my house to our neighbor's house to play. And I don't have to worry so much about that, right? Like in Santo Domingo, it's mostly apartments. Especially now, it's mostly apartments. There are very few houses within the city, but
I'd struggle
apartments in the areas that you would probably want to live in.
Yeah, and I'd struggle to move to Santo Domingo with a family. I would go there if I was single. It was just the 2 of us.
Oh yeah, probably.
Well, I prefer us. Particularly, we would not move to Santo Domingo.
No, we wouldn't. I would move to Cabarete. I would move to Las Terrenas, right? A little bit more.
But a couple without kids in Santo Domingo makes a lot of sense to me.
Makes a lot of sense to me. If I had to move to a city here in the Dominican Republic, I would move to either Santiago or Puerto Plata. Jamie wouldn't. I would move to Santiago or Puerto Plata because they're a little bit more quiet. There's a tiny bit more order. I feel
Santiago's
like culturally it's a little bit more organized.
Oh yeah.
So I think I would do that. And Puerto Plata, I would do because it is more country, right? It's not this huge bustling city. It's a little bit quieter, and I like quiet places. So that's where we would do if we had to do a city. But since we wouldn't move to a city. The other place I would move from here, it would probably the Cabarete area, I guess Puerto Plata, outside of Puerto Plata beach. I like the beach. I love the ocean. So a beach town, that's what I would do.
I agree. I would do, if I had to pick right now to go somewhere else, it would be Cabarete.
Yeah.
Las Terrenas I like, but the problem is it's too isolated and there's not a lot of amenities there. Like there's one hospital, there's one school, there's one of everything. And it's great.
There
there's
are a few
not
more than one school in La Cerrada,
but there's not
by
an
the way.
airport. There's not like, I mean, there's very small airport.
It would be hard for us.
It would be hard. So Cabarete is close to Puerto Plata. There's a decent sized airport there. There's
and
like
Santiago
a city.
is not that far.
Santiago's
and
an hour and a half.
Major medical help.
And they have great medical in Santiago.
And
Great medical system.
Santiago.
I just don't like
is a
Santiago.
beautiful-
Sorry.
I know you don't. I know you don't. I don't like that it's landlocked, right?
It's not even that. Just something about it doesn't fit me.
I guess.
You know?
Yeah, you're more like
I'm either
Dominican
right.
than
So Santo Domingo makes sense to me.
I am.
Punta Cana makes sense to me, right? From that standpoint, meaning like the family energy. Santiago is somewhere in between, and it just doesn't. It falls flat. It falls flat.
Sorry, Santiaguero. I do like Santiago.
I didn't say I don't like it. You can visit it. You don't have to live there. All right. I want to switch to schools. So Steph Ditren says PCIS or Ashton. Moving in June with 3 kids. Anxious mom right here.
Okay, anxious mom, take some deep breaths. Schools here are in Punta Cana are like they're fairly good. I wouldn't say they're great. They're fairly good. There's PCIS, there's Ikigai, there is Heritage, there is Bávaro Bilingual, there is Bávaro International, Innovation.
Máximo Potencial.
Las Olas.
Las Olas, yeah.
Something Olas.
Yeah.
Nueva Olas? La Nueva Ola, or something like that.
Like
which is like a homeschool alternative, which is really cool. And if we lived closer to that area, we would probably try that.
Right?
It's an alternative school that is in the Cortecito area. There's Villa Montessori, where our kids went for the first year. Honestly, we love Ikigai, but we love it for kids up to, I don't know, 2nd, 3rd grade. Up to 3rd grade, because they don't have a ton of room. It's in a building. There's also Máximo Potencial, which is here in Punta Cana Village as well. We have tons of schools.
Yeah.
If I had to choose between PCIS and Ashton, 100% Ashton. Ashton is a school built by educators and people who are in the business of schooling. PCIS is a school built by a company and developers who wanted to have a place for the people living in the communities to go to. That makes a difference, right?
Big time.
We honestly, PCIS did not fit in with our style of teaching. Neither did Heritage. I can't tell you whether our kids go to school because I don't like publishing that. Those are the schools, right?
Yeah.
If I had to choose between PCIS and Ashton, I would definitely choose Ashton. Here's the only issue though. Ashton will be a new school in this area. They are an old school in Santo Domingo. They have great ratings. They are family centered. They have community as the base for, their practice, which is great. So I would choose Ashton if I had to choose between one of those two. You? Any thoughts?
Well, like you said, Ashton is a school, the business of school. Heritage, PCIS, a lot of these other schools are add-ons to the development. It's like, hey, we've got this development, we should put a school in. But the school is like an ancillary benefit to the community, an add-on benefit to the community. Whereas Ashton is just simply a school for the sake of being a school, right? That's what it's built to be. Yeah. So they're all U.S. accredited.
Yeah, and I've heard great things about Bávaro Bilingual, and it's also a little bit cheaper. Yep. That's not in Punta Cana. That's in Bávaro. It's close to the Hard Rock and Ibero Star, so it's very far for us. But we have friends whose kids go there and they love it, and it's half the cost of a school here in Punta Cana.
And to be clear, all of these schools we mentioned, with the exception of I think 2, are U.S. accredited, like truly U.S. accredited. People go to college in the U.S., no problem as a result. That's a big question. Like, what about getting into college? You're not gonna have an issue in all the schools. The only ones that aren't U.S. accredited is Ikigai. Yeah. I know that one's not. I don't know if OLAS or whatever is or isn't. I doubt it is.
Right? But I don't know.
But Heritage, PCIS, Ashton,
Bávaro
Bilingual, I think Bávaro Innovation, and Máximo Potencial are all U.S. accredited. In fact, Máximo Potencial's graduation is in Pennsylvania. They fly them up to Pennsylvania for the graduation. So you're getting a U.S. people worry about oh my God, but education.
Your kids will be able to go to school anywhere. Education here is a problem for people that are poor. Public education is awful, and please, I want the government to fix that.
100%.
Because we need more educated workers. We need people to have a way out of poverty. And education, I believe, helps a ton with that. So that's where education fails people here. It's in the public sector.
All right, Javier, this is for you. Javier Natalie asks, did your wife, I think it's like, does your wife work? Do you work?
No, I don't work outside of the house, but I have plenty of work at home, managing the kids' activities. I do everything else, right? I go into the bank, setting up everything for us so that our house functions. That's my job. Stay at home mom.
Well, but you know, this is the part where we've been fortunate. We're blessed to have designed our life in such a way that I take care of earning the income and she takes care of the home.
I miss working though.
She wants to go back, but our kids are getting to an age now where she's thinking about, like you've thought about, like maybe finishing off some of your education.
I want to go back to school, and then now it's a matter of finding the right program, right? Because some of them have already rejected the fact that I am living here.
To be able to do the program, you have to do it right.
That I would have to live in the United States, even though
it's online.
It's online, and I graduated at the top of my class from a U.S. college.
A very good U.S. college.
A very good U.S. college. Yeah. So to me, that's a little crazy. It's an online program, right? But because I live in the Dominican Republic, I think it was NYU, the one that said, I don't think we're ready to have a student that's living abroad and doing our classes. So looking for the right program in that sense that I can do from here.
Right, but here's the key to this, right? I something I've been able to do. There's a lot of skills we all have. One of them is I know how to earn income. I'm good at it, right? Like that sound.
You believe that too, which helps, right?
I can't dunk a basketball. I stumble over my words. There's a lot of things I can't do, but one thing I've learned to do, I know how to earn an income. And you know what, the one blessing of corporate America was I climbed that ladder and I grinded to climb that ladder. I mean, how much did I travel when we had Sebastian?
Yeah, it was a lot. We have made life decisions that have led us to this, to be able to do this.
Correct. But
we made sacrifices before.
Yes.
You know, and then now.
Most people won't do what we did. We moved 3 times, 3 different states. I traveled 45 weeks a year on a plane while we were having our first kid. I was gone. And he didn't sleep. Like this kid, Sebastian.
And I was working full time at the time.
And she was working full time. Kid didn't sleep. She's alone 4 days, 5 days a week. I was gone on a plane every week to try to get to a level.
And I know some people have it harder than that, right?
The point is though, we've designed our life so that I can be the one to earn the income and she can take care of the household. And what she underestimates is because of all the things she takes care of that I don't have to think about or do or worry about, I'm able to be fully in dollar productive activities.
You can just show up.
And then on top of that, having the housekeeper, so that now, like at the end of the night, we're not battling over, shit, the dishes, or got to clean up. It's a mess down here. It's like the laundry.
I can focus on being a mom and managing the household.
Yeah.
Right? Whereas before I had to focus on everything that had to do with the house, the cleaning.
You're managing the household, not the grunt in the household.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
That sounded
There's a little bit of time for me where I had no time for myself before.
Yep. So we lean into that. We do our dates every week because we can, and we want to invest in our relationship.
It feels like we're like justifying.
We are, because some people get a little weird with this.
I'm not justifying.
You don't have to justify. She's right. This is why she. See what I mean? She grounds me.
We don't have to justify it. And like for the longest time, it was a shame that I was a stay-at-home mom. But honestly, this is a lot harder than anything I've ever done in my life. One, having to deal with the psychological fact that I'm no longer an employed woman and I'm relying on someone else to make my money. That's a hard thing to swallow when you've been independent and a powerful woman your whole life, and then all of a sudden you decide that you're not going to do that for your children, right? Because you want to spend time with your kids. So no, we don't need to justify it. I don't work.
You're right. She doesn't have a job.
I work in the house. I don't have an official job that pays me.
There you go. No, I agree. You're right. I am kind of like explaining it away because I think there's like a guilt to it, right? Like we've done well. In some ways,
we've been blessed. We've been amazingly blessed. I mean, I would say lucky. We've gotten freaking lucky in so many ways. Our kids are healthy. You know, some people's kids are not. So, and it's not because you deserved it or you didn't deserve it or anything. We just have gotten lucky.
Yeah, 100%. And we've made bold moves. People don't pick up and leave their People don't pick up and leave their city, Boston, where all of your family was, where you essentially grew up from the age of 12.
Yeah, with a baby.
And move to a place where they've never been.
With a baby.
People don't usually do that. We did that. People don't usually quit jobs making $400,000 or $500,000 a year as the only person earning income with the support of somebody amazing. People don't usually do that. So we've made bold moves, and we have. It is what it is. You're right. I'm done apologizing.
Stop. Yeah, no. I do that sometimes.
We all do it. Chatty Catty 02 asks, hey guys, I love your dynamic. Are you considering having more kids in the future?
Nope.
I physically can't.
And I made sure of that. I made sure that
She did the vasectomy while I was sleeping.
Almost. No. We're very happy with our 2 boys. They're an amazing blessing, and I am so glad we don't have babies anymore.
Where's your purse, by the way? I need my balls back for the day. That's a bad joke. Uquin or Yuki, New Jersey, maybe? Would you consider moving back to the United States?
Yeah.
Sure.
Why not?
Yeah. Like,
However,
go deeper on it. I think the question is like, hey, is this like, how long? When are you going?
We have no plans to return to the United States as of right now. We decided to stop putting a time limit on our stay here because we said we were here for a year. Then we said we were here for 2. And now we're going into year 3, and we're not ready. We're not ready to go back to the United States. One of my biggest concern is school shootings. Yeah. It's a big deal to me, and it's a great cause for anxiety. I know it doesn't happen everywhere. I know it doesn't happen every day, but it creates a level of anxiety in me that I don't want to deal with.
Same. We're happy. We're happy now. People are like, oh, you're going to stay forever. Nothing has ever been forever for us.
Nothing's ever been forever for us.
So who knows? Like, but for right now,
we'll see.
This is home.
We'll see where life will take us.
And it might be Europe, the next move.
I don't know. But
I'm just saying, like, we could decide, not the US, want to go to Europe. Maybe Canada.
Ew, no.
I'm just kidding. On that, Mr. Arnardo, I'm curious why you don't like Canada. What's your experience? It's not that we don't like Canada.
No, wait. The whole Canadian thing started with me. I'm the one who's always
crapping on Canada?
Crapping on Canada.
All right, go for it.
Canada is like, like the child from a very rich family who's always complaining that their parents didn't do enough for them while their parent is paying their rent, is also paying for their meals.
Sorry, Canadians.
It's paying for all the things. Well, that is Canada to me. Canada is the spoiled child of the United States who still hasn't realized.
Living in the attic.
That they're living in the attic and mommy and daddy are paying for everything. And then they have the audacity to complain about everything when they are protected by the superpower. So no, I don't like Canada for that reason. Also, it is a very beautiful state when it's warm.
Country.
See, we always joke about this because I always say Canada still believes it's its own country.
This is before the whole Trump thing, by the way. She's been saying this for years.
I've been saying this since I met my friend, Laura Maloney. Sorry, Laura. She's Canadian. That's when I had my
Santiago
first encounter. She's amazing. I love her. She's
Santiago people are going to hate me. Canadians will hate you. Good. We got our hate.
Hate me. It's fine. But what I like about Canadians is their willingness to explore.
Our friends across the street, Canadian.
Exactly.
Right?
So
he's willing to do a lot of things.
Their willingness to explore. Most Canadians that run away from Canada, those are my people. No, Canada's a beautiful country, honestly. It has a lot of beauty, mostly in the summertime. Yeah. I don't do the cold very well. I don't like it. So, and it is beautiful, especially British Columbia from the pictures that I've seen, because I still haven't made it up there.
All right, I gotta save the best 2 for last, then we gotta get you out of here. The next one, real quick, Nikaram how did your kids adapt to new culture, language, school?
I think they did well. Our kids were fairly young when we moved here.
7 and 4.
Julian was 4.
Yeah.
Sebastian was 7.
7.
Yeah, had just turned 7. And for Sebastian, it was a little bit harder, right? He already had friends. He was already going to school in the States, but it wasn't mind-blowing. I guess my mindset is this. I moved to the United States when I was 12, against my will, right? My mom had to do it. So I learned English. I had to adapt to a new culture. I had to adapt to the weather in Massachusetts because we moved in February to Chelsea, Massachusetts, which is freaking cold.
Yeah.
And it was gray and ugly, and I did not like it. I didn't enjoy it for the first 2 years, and that was fine. And it was for me, it was the best decision my mom made for her daughters. So same for my kids. I think it's a great decision to make your kids uncomfortable in a good way. This is a good way to make your kid uncomfortable. So yeah, he was uncomfortable, but he's learned to adapt. We are going on year 2. He's three.
Yeah.
He's speaking Spanish much more fluently than he did. He didn't speak any Spanish because we never spoke Spanish at home.
Meaning before we moved here?
Before we moved
Neither
here.
of them spoke Spanish.
Neither of them spoke Spanish. So they're both fluent in Spanish. They have adapted to this culture. So now they are multicultural in some ways.
And they're kids.
They're kids. They adapt. And we need to build grit on our kids. Like, things happen.
Not only that, but they're kids, and wherever they are is
privileged.
Wherever they are, the other place can be cooler. Like, Italy's better, or the UK, or like, you know, like they're kids. So when we're in the States, they want to be back here. When we're here, they want to be back in the States. Sometimes, not all the time, right? But like when you press them on it, sometimes they're kids. They're all over the place. But,
so I say make the decision is the best thing that you could do for your kids.
I agree.
They will be uncomfortable. So it's not, you will be uncomfortable. Like when I find like a lot of questions that you get or I get about living here.
They want
like
perfection.
People want perfection. They want us to say that you will not struggle. That is not life. I'm sorry. You will struggle. Your decision to move here, it will be difficult. And there's nothing that we can say or do to ease that process for you. The same for your kids. There's nothing you can say or do that will make life more easier for your kids in that sense, right? So why not push them to go to another country, learn another language, interact with people in a different culture, and show them that the world is more than their bubble.
If anything, we didn't have this. Like, there's a lot of people that talk about moving here, but it's like beach life. It's like minimalist life.
We have had to figure it out. Right. And one of the ways that has helped us tremendously has been meeting people and talking to them, local Dominicans, people who have moved here from another country who came here before we did, asking them questions, not to try to prevent us from making mistakes, but so that we can learn from them.
What's the best insurance?
Do things better.
We use this one. Okay, we bought it too. Right.
And then just letting it happen. And if you get screwed, you get screwed, because that has happened so many times here. I'm getting screwed less.
Wow, she means
you're an idiot. No, I am not being. I'm a little bit less pendeja. I am a little bit more tiguerona than I was when I first got here. But I had to learn that the hard way. You will stop it.
All the screwing. You will what? If you're less pendeja, go ahead.
You will learn the hard way. There are mistakes, there are things that you're gonna do. Jamie.
Sorry, you said about. Go ahead.
It will not be perfect. You will make mistakes. You will do things. Things will happen to you that have never happened to you before. Mm-hmm. And you will survive it, and you will be okay.
Yeah.
Like, you will be stronger. You cannot have everything perfectly planned where everything will be perfect.
Right.
That world doesn't exist.
Right. All right, I'm going to ask you one more, then get you out of here.
So get over your anxieties and just move.
This one
is planning on moving.
This one's easy, but I think it's important. Africa Boss, do you have a favorite restaurant for your date nights, or try different? What's your favorite restaurants for our date?
We try different, but
we have a go-to just because of ease.
Yeah, La Cava is in Market. Those two are our go-to.
Yeah, they're right here, close by.
Great customer service at both, actually.
Yep.
La Cava, we've never had bad customer service. They know us way too well. But they have taken the time to know us, right?
Yep.
Does that make So La Cava, Market. But our favorite as far as food, which one would you say?
Noah.
I like Pepe.
In the marina. Pepe is good. Noah Marina is really good.
And Market has great food too.
So here's the thing with Punta Cana.
Bistro.
There's a lot of similarity between places.
Yeah.
So like diversity of food, Santo Domingo.
Yeah.
All day. Santiago.
100%.
All day.
We're still looking for a good Chinese place here.
We don't have one. There's one people talk, trust me, the ones that you say that you're going to tell me about, we've been to all of them. They're not Chinese food. But like Cabana downtown is good. We went there.
That was good. The freshness of the food was good. It was a little bit lacking in taste.
Okay, I thought it was good.
And stuff.
Castaways I like. I like
Castaway I love. That's change here, right? It's Cajun food.
Cajun Dominican.
Which we don't have. It's Cajun food.
Well, they do like fried fish and stuff like that too. Yeah.
So that I like because it's different.
Yeah.
Citrus is good.
Citrus is good.
Favorite place for a date night? I think Noah. It has become Noah in the marina for us.
As far as like we want a really good meal.
We want a really good meal, and we want the ambiance, right?
Yes.
Like, I love Market.
Me too.
I love Market.
It's my favorite.
It's at the mall, right? So we do that. But like ambience and food, I would say Noah Marina.
Market, you're right. Market is like reliably, everything is so good.
Their pizza is amazing.
Pizza's awesome. Their food is really, really good. So I would recommend Market.
Yeah.
I like Bruja Chupadora.
Oh, that's right. I always forget about that. That place is really good.
That place is good. That's up in Cortecito. Yeah, that area. I like Castaways because it's different. It's unique. It's right up the street from Bruja Chupadora. So I'm a big fan of that. But yeah, those are the places I would say. So that is all the questions for you.
Someone did ask if we were swingers.
Oh, yeah. Are we swingers? They even put the pineapple on there. Urban Shakespeare 1. Are you guys swingers?
No.
Not yet.
We're not looking for a third either.
So there you have
I don't
it.
know, wondering, like, that's such a weird question. Like, it stuck with me.
Listen, if you want some more on our story, we did a full-on interview at the old Castaways up on the beach. I'll drop that video right over here next to her so that you can take a look at that and watch that full interview. She goes deeper on her story if you're interested in it, but I appreciate you watching, and we'll see you on the next one.
Bye-bye.